2 years ago, on September 9th, my mother unexpectedly and suddenly died. That was one of the most difficult things I've ever been through. It was devastating. I was confused. I didn't know what happened. It was unexpected. And as you know, on September 9th of this year, just a week and a half ago, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And that has been a huge grief for the whole collective. And for me, it felt like the veil of grief ripped open all over again. The same waves and the same questions and the same disbelief came rolling back into my mind. The denial, the endless whys, and questions that spin in my mind and just tighten my chest. Things like, how did this happen? Why did this happen? I was in denial. If she would have done this, she wouldn't have died. If somebody else would have done this, she wouldn't have died. She can't possibly be dead. And it was like going over in my mind the events that happened and in disbelief that this happened because how, why, when, who? Somebody has to be responsible. Grief has a way of circling back, spiraling us into deeper layers. Just when you think you've found your footing, it returns like the tide. Because as you know, if you've been through grief, grief is like the ocean waves. It comes and goes. And if you're carrying their weight right now because of what's going on in the world, please, I want you to know I see you, I hear you, and you are not alone in this. Interestingly enough, and coincidentally, Wednesday, when I had heard the news of Charlie Kirk's assassination, I was just getting sick, and I've been sick ever since. I had body aches, a low-grade fever, and a stuffy nose, really bad, and I'm just getting over it. So excuse my voice, but it's interesting that when my mother died as well, I had the same exact thing happen to me when she died. I had the same type of symptoms. It's almost like my body physically is going through the grief as well. And I want to offer you some ways I've learned to deal with my grief and tend to my spirit when the storm of grief is on the rise or it's in your life, facing right at you. So number one is nourish your body with simple soul foods. This is not a time for perfection. This is a time to feed your body simple foods, simple as easy as a high protein peanut butter jelly sandwich. And if you get my newsletter, you know that I told you how to make the high protein peanut butter jelly sandwich. It's something simple. And the other thing that I really liked about the peanut butter jelly sandwich, it made me really thirsty. So it hydrated me as well because I wanted to drink water right away as I was drinking that. So it's one way that I was able to stay nourished, and it was actually relatively healthy. And as you all know, I'm a pretty healthy person. So something like a smoothie, it's very simple, frozen fruit, the little pure maple syrup. I love soy milk, blend it in a blender and drink that because that is soothing to your body. It's refreshing and it has antioxidants to keep you hydrated as well. And that is something easy that you can absolutely keep in your freezer and make it simple. A protein bar is something so easy, so always keep those on hand. I like to keep those for emergencies like this. Soups. This is a time to order out. This is a time to call somebody and say, I need you to pick up some food for me. It's also a time to also spend a little money and have a meal prep company deliver food to you. And don't think that you're not worthy because you are. And my mom always used to say this to me, that money will always come. There's more of that where it came from. So don't worry about spending a little extra money to keep yourself nourished. And I want you to hydrate with intention. Drink water like it's blessing your cells. I like to just put lemon in it, and it's hydrating, and it's also tastes good. If you don't like water, it's the only thing I really drink. So I made sure that I always stay hydrated. And number three is sit in prayer, meditation, or stillness. Open your heart and let spirit, let God, let source or the divine hold you. Picture yourself in a light and picture yourself being cradled, and it sounds kind of corny, like a baby, like your divine source is holding you and caressing you like a child. Even if it comes out and it feels messy, it feels corny, it's fine. It's holy. Nobody else, there's not a video on you. Nobody knows what you're doing. It's only in your mind. And if it's healing for you, you do that. Excuse me, I'm going to have to do this every now and then. So move your body as you always go. I'm always going to tell everybody, move your body, because that grief gets physically stuck in your body. And if you don't feel like going to the gym, it took me 2 weeks after my mother died to go to the gym and get a workout in, but walk outside, feel the sun, stretch. When you feel like it, a workout, it's going to shift that energy in your body and it's going to move through it. Another thing you can do is give your emotions permission. So cry, scream if you need to, write and dance, and let the energy move through you instead of locking inside. I'm going to share something with you that happened to me during the very early days when I knew my mother wasn't going to be here anymore. So I had a glass in my hand and I was so angry. I went on my porch and I screamed so loud and I threw the glass cup and it hit a tree and it smashed. And I was like, oh my God. But like that force of releasing that energy, it felt really releasing, and that actually helped me. So if you need to throw something at a tree, make sure there's no animals or people out there, go ahead and do that. And of course, return to nature. I want you to be in the earth, touch the earth, breathe the air, and be with your pets, be with your animals. Those of you who have pets and animals know how healing they can be, because nature will recalibrate you. I want you also to listen to music. And it's interesting. I'm so passionate about music. I'm very moved by music. Music gives me soul feelings. It gives me a release. It gives me goosebumps. And I would listen to sad music, happy music, music that reminded me of my mom, music that was healing, whether it was, heavy rock, or it was silent meditation music, or it was gospel music, it was like Christian music, whatever it is that touches your soul, that allows you to release, you do that. Music is so healing. And speak your truth. So we want you to share with a friend, a mentor, a family member, because we're certainly not meant to walk through this grief in silence. I actually put a Facebook post out because I didn't want a mainstream therapist to help me go through this. I want somebody who was not mainstream, right? So somebody texted me and said, I saw your post on Facebook. This is the girl I think was for you. So I reached out to her. I worked with her for 1 entire year. She was my lifeline throughout this process. And she held up mirrors to me and helped me grieve through this process for the entire year. I met her once a week, and her name was Angel, and she was my angel. So reach out to somebody that is going to connect with you, hear you, and really be there for you. Because grief is not linear. As I said, it comes in waves, sometimes soft and sometimes it's going to be fierce, but honor both. And remember, small sacred acts, food, water, breath work, breathing, music, prayer, movement, and connection become lifelines when the heart feels shattered. I am holding this space for you in this moment. I know a lot of people are going through a lot of different things. And if you are grieving, know that you are seen, you are heard, and you are not walking this path alone. I hope this information helped you. Follow me for more fit and health tips. And just get strong.